What's going on, guys? Austin Beck here again. Still injured. Cut my finger straight down to the bone. If you guys hadn't checked out my previous video, I was talking about that. Good news is doctor says that I'll more than likely have the stitches out sometime after Christmas. I'm starting to be able to get more bend back in my finger, so all's healing well. Enough about that. This is just going to be a quick video, kind of touch base a little bit with a lot of people are still asking me how exactly do I get that scream sound. They're still not sure. I've got a lot of videos that talk about it, how it's 50% physical and 50% mental. A lot of it takes place in your mind. You have to practice at it. You have to hear the sound. I know it sounds like bullshit, but it's true. You honestly have to hear that sound in your head. People want to know, how did I practice? How did I get up to where I am now? Because if you check out my earlier videos, my scream didn't sound very good. Now I like where it's at. A lot of you guys like where it's at. A lot of it just came from practice, from listening to some of my favorite bands, trying to tune it to that. I talked with a few people. I talked to Angela Gossow because I really like her scream and her sound. I talked to Winston of Parkway Drive because I really like his scream. So I started talking to people, sharing ideas. So that kind of thing going on there. I'm going to kind of try to go over some anatomical views of it. I've got a video out called, which is actually my #1 video. It's awesome. I've got like over 200,000 views on my How to Scream with Your Diaphragm video. Now, a lot of people have actually left comments where they say, man, you explain how to use it so well, but you suck at screaming. And because in that video, I'd actually only been screaming for maybe about 3 or 4 months. I've actually gotten a lot better. That video is over a year old, so those of you that have been watching my videos, you know that my scream's improved. If you've only watched that video recently, go check out my other videos. My scream has improved within the past year. So I'm going to kind of go over again real quick. Quick overview on the diaphragm. Remember, the diaphragm really only controls our breathing. You're not actually making any scream sounds with your diaphragm. It just controls our breathing. The diaphragm, basically how it works, is as you breathe in, you inhale, it moves down, bringing air in. As you exhale, it goes up, pushing air out. Kind of just, common clockwork of how that works. When you want to make sure that when you're breathing, though, there's no pressure. You don't want pressure inside of you because that's actually going to constrict. It's going to make it harder to scream. It's going to make it hurt to scream. When you breathe in, you want it to just feel like you're just breathing air. That's all you want. Just feel like you're breathing. And then when you're actually letting it out, you're letting it out in little bursts. So you're just going to be breathing in. And then you're, yeah! That was a long scream, but you know what I mean. If you're doing a full song, I just won't spread their wings. You see, in the middle of that, I took in another quick breath, but I didn't go. I didn't want to suck it in and cause pressure. So you have to kind of find the balance of breathing it in without causing too much pressure. So you can sit there, I just won't spread their wings. Now, I don't know if you're paying attention, but I actually breathed in 3 times just for that one line. The trick is you make it happen so fast, it's like a magician. You don't even see it happening. Plus, one of the most annoying things, at least to me, is when you have a microphone this close to your face. If you're screaming and you hear, I just won't spread their wings. I mean, if you hear the sucking in air, to me that just sounds annoying. So you have to kind of work on how to figure out how to breathe in while you're screaming and do it naturally, like you're just breathing in air while you're talking. Quickly, I wanted to go over, some people have said, hey man, check out my videos, tell me what you think of my scream. And I listen to some of these people scream, and it sounds like they're choking. You listen to their scream and you're hearing, ow, 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 ow. And what's actually happening is they're constricting their vocal cords. They're kind of getting a little confused of how you want to scream. To actually scream, it uses a lot of components in your throat. You actually need to use 2 different main parts, your vocal cords and your larynges. I think that's how you pronounce it. Basically, they're 2 parts that you want to work together. Your vocal cords, everyone knows what those are. That's what makes us speak. That's the sound. That's generally how we get our sound. Larynges are actually parts of our throat that we use. We use them every day. We just don't really notice them that much. They usually stay fairly open, but they manipulate how we sound. If you're doing different weird little voices, your larynges kind of help work with that. Your larynx, your pharynx, your vocal cords, all those basically are working together to change the sound of your voice. And adding distortion is one of those things it does. Now, what larynges are, they're little flaps that stay in your throat. I believe they're close to your Adam's apple, maybe a little bit below. Basically, they're close to your collarbone, but obviously back in your neck somewhere. I don't know if it's exactly where, but they usually rest close to the vocal cords. What they do is when air's coming through, they're going to go past them. Now when I'm speaking, oh, I'm doing that, they're open. When you start getting into, yo, yo, when you start screaming, what they're actually doing is they're coming closer, and you hear that, what people call the gravel in your voice, that yow! That gravel is actually them vibrating really fast. And that's what makes the distortion sound. Them coming closer, they're actually creating somewhat of a blockade. So right now you have my normal voices going, oh. When it hits these guys, it's closed, so, or it's not fully closed, but it's kind of closed. So when it hits it, it's actually turning from clean to distorted. So it's going, oh. So when it gets past these guys, that's when it starts doing the distortion. I don't know how much that really helps you, but what I'm basically saying is do not constrict your vocal cords, because your vocal cords need to vibrate. The key to the perfect scream is to have fairly closed larynges, but still allow your vocal cords to vibrate naturally. Because your vocal cords vibrating is how we get volume, it's how we get sound, it's how we get inflection, it's how we get a lot of stuff. Now there's other things that are working to make all that happen, but that's basically where we get the essence of our sound and our volume. A lot of you people have trouble with volume. Remember, do not constrict your vocal cords. When you're screaming, it's kind of hard to describe. You don't want to feel like you're overworking your vocal cords. When I do my yo, the only part of my throat that I feel doing a whole lot of work is actually right here. And this is what should be doing the most work. When I scream and I do, whether I'm doing highs, lows, I can be doing yo with the mid-range, I could be with the low, and I could be yow with the high. Now what I'm feeling is I'm feeling it right here. I'm not feeling it in my vocal cords, I'm not feeling it in my mouth, I'm not feeling it anywhere but right here. This is where all the sound needs to be coming from. This is where basically what needs to be doing the work, and this is generally the area where your larynges are. That's what needs to be doing work. The key to a perfect scream and being able to do a full set is comfort. And you're not going to get comfort by constricting your vocal cords. So I know this all sounds kind of random, and if you have questions on that, drop me a line. But honestly, that's all I can really tell you, is that it's a combination of breathing properly, allowing your vocal cords to vibrate and move freely, and basically tightening. I don't like the word tightening because you're not tightening anything, but basically moving your larynges closer to one another. That's about all I can say right now, and I'll check you guys later.